Here's a surprising truth that rarely gets talked about. The foods we snack on, even something as seemingly innocent as a handful of nuts, can quietly shape our hormone levels, prostate health, and even our sexual performance as we age. For men over 60, where testosterone may be declining, the prostate often feels more sensitive, and energy can dip unpredictably. The smallest daily choices, like what you toss in your trail mix or blend into your smoothie, can start to make a real difference. And yet, the wellness world is filled with contradictions. Some say all nuts are heart healthy. Others claim certain ones are estrogenic or pro-dermalifier. One week, you're told almonds are a superfood. The next, someone warns they'll tank your testosterone. It's no wonder men feel confused or just give up. But the truth is, not all nuts are created equal, especially when you factor in hormonal shifts, age, prostate changes, and metabolic sensitivities that become more pronounced after 60. Today, we're going to cut through the noise. In this video, I want to walk you through 4 specific nuts that may be sabotaging your energy, testosterone, or prostate health, especially if you're eating them regularly without realizing their impact. More importantly, I'll show you 4 science-backed alternatives that do just the opposite, supporting your hormones, reducing inflammation, and protecting your prostate naturally. And no, this isn't about fear, it's about clarity. Because here's the reality. By age 60, over 50% of men experience some degree of benign prostatic hyperplasia, BPH, a condition that can lead to frequent urination, weaker flow, and discomfort. Others face increasing insulin resistance, lower testosterone, or creeping fatigue. Diet can be a powerful ally or a hidden saboteur in managing all of this. So let's break this down like I would with a patient in my office. You deserve real, evidence-based insight, not clickbait or shame. And you deserve to feel confident about what's going into your body. We're going to explore the latest research, gently bust some myths, and give you tools you can actually use. Let's get into it, starting with a quick overview of what we'll unpack together. Let's start by addressing something that many men don't realize. Not all plant-based foods are automatically hormone-friendly, and that includes certain nuts. While nuts can be packed with healthy fats, fiber, and micronutrients, some also contain compounds that may mimic estrogen, promote inflammation, or interfere with your body's ability to maintain healthy testosterone levels. Now, this doesn't mean these nuts are bad in isolation, but after age 60, the hormonal landscape changes. Testosterone production gradually declines, often by about 1% per year after your mid-30s, and the body becomes more sensitive to endocrine disrupting compounds. So let's break this down like I would with a patient. Certain nuts, like pistachios, peanuts, and cashews, contain higher levels of phytoestrogens, which are plant compounds that can bind to estrogen receptors in the body. In moderation, this might not be an issue, but when consumed daily and in large amounts, especially in processed or roasted forms, these nuts can potentially skew your hormonal balance, particularly when testosterone is already lower. A study published in Environmental Health Perspectives found that exposure to estrogen-like compounds through food and environment is linked to a higher incidence of hormonal imbalance in aging men, including lower free testosterone and symptoms of fatigue or decreased libido. Let's take peanuts, for example. Technically a legume, not a nut, peanuts are often high in omega-6 fatty acids, the kind that in excess contribute to inflammation. Chronic low-grade inflammation is one of the underlying factors in many age conditions, including BPH and insulin resistance. Peanuts also frequently harbor aflatoxins, a kind of mold toxin that's been shown to damage liver function and potentially increase oxidative stress. While the levels in most commercially available peanuts are regulated, frequent consumption, especially of non-organic or poor quality peanuts, might still raise long-term health concerns. Another example is cashews. Creamy, satisfying, but lower in testosterone and supportive minerals like zinc or selenium. Plus, they're energy dense, and in older men dealing with slower metabolism, high intake may contribute to weight gain, which is itself linked to lower testosterone. Now, it isn't about fear, it's about awareness. Think of your hormone system like a finely tuned orchestra. One or two instruments out of sync can throw off the whole performance. If your daily nut choices are subtly tipping that balance toward more estrogenic or inflammatory pathways, it's worth reevaluating. So here's what the research shows. Men with higher intakes of zinc, selenium, and magnesium, often found in different types of nuts, have better total and free testosterone levels, improved sperm quality, and reduced risk of prostate enlargement. So before we explore the exact nuts to avoid, I want you to ask yourself, what am I putting into my body every single day that could be working against me without me realizing it? Up next, we'll zoom in on the 4 specific nuts you might want to limit or avoid altogether, especially after age 60. And if this is helping clarify things, give it a thumbs up and keep learning. You deserve information, not confusion. So let's get specific. Here are 4 nuts that I often ask my older male patients to either limit or remove, especially if they're struggling with low testosterone, prostate issues, weight gain, or chronic inflammation. These aren't inherently bad foods, but after 60, your body's hormonal environment becomes more sensitive, and the nutritional profile of these nuts might start working against your goals. Let's break them down. Number 1, peanuts. Yes, they're everywhere, from peanut butter to protein bars. But here's what most people don't realize. Peanuts are technically legumes, not true nuts. That means they carry different compounds, including lectins, which can irritate the gut lining in some individuals. More concerning, peanuts are among the most common carriers of aflatoxins, toxic mold byproducts linked to liver stress and cellular damage. Aflatoxins have been shown to promote oxidative stress, a driver of aging and hormonal imbalance. Combine that with peanuts' high omega-6 content, and you've got a pro-inflammatory profile that may subtly undermine prostate health and testosterone function over time. Number 2, cashews. Cashews are smooth, buttery, and delicious, but they're also relatively low in zinc, a mineral essential for testosterone synthesis. They're also high in phytic acid, an anti-nutrient that can reduce the absorption of zinc, magnesium, and iron, all critical for hormone balance. And while occasional cashew consumption isn't harmful, men eating large amounts of cashew-based snacks, vegan cheeses, or sauces may be unknowingly displacing more nutrient-dense options like pumpkin seeds or Brazil nuts. Number 3, pine nuts. A lesser-known concern, but important, pine nuts can trigger a condition known as pine mouth, a lingering metallic taste that can last for days. But beyond that, pine nuts are very high in omega-6 fatty acids with minimal omega-3s to balance them out. This contributes to the kind of inflammatory tilt that can exacerbate BPH symptoms and chronic fatigue in older men. Number 4, flavored, roasted, or salted mixed nuts. It's not just the type of nut, it's how it's processed. Many popular mixed nut blends are roasted in vegetable oils like canola or soybean, which further spike omega-6 levels. Add preservatives, excess sodium, and artificial flavorings, and you've turned a nutrient-rich food into a pro-inflammatory snack bomb. A 2021 meta-analysis published in Nutrients highlighted that dietary patterns high in refined seed oils and sodium are correlated with increased markers of systemic inflammation and worsened urological symptoms in older men. Let's separate fear from fact. The occasional handful of these won't wreck your hormones. But if they're a daily staple and you're noticing low energy, disrupted sleep, frequent urination, or reduced libido, it's worth rethinking. And now, the empowering part, there are better choices. If this resonates, drop a comment below, especially if you've noticed how certain snacks make you feel better or worse. This kind of awareness is the first step toward taking control. Now that we've covered the nuts to limit, let's shift into the nutritional allies for nuts that are not just safe, but strategically supportive of your vitality, hormones, and prostate. These aren't just good snacks, they're like microdoses of medicine when chosen and used intentionally. Let's break each one down like I would in a consult. Number 1, Brazil nut to the selenium powerhouse. If I could only recommend one nut for testosterone support, it would be the Brazil nut. Why? Selenium. This trace mineral plays a key role in testosterone production and sperm health, and just 1 to 2 Brazil nuts per day provides 100 to 200% of your daily selenium needs. A study published in Biological Trace Element Research found that men with higher selenium levels had significantly better sperm motility, healthier testosterone levels, and reduced markers of oxidative stress. Just don't overdo it because selenium can be toxic in high doses. Stick to 1 or 2 Brazil nuts per day, ideally unsalted and raw. Number 2, walnuts to brain and prostate defender. Walnuts are rich in alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, a plant-based omega-3 that supports anti-inflammatory pathways. They also contain ellagic acid, an antioxidant shown to reduce oxidative damage in prostate tissue. In a 2015 study in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry, walnut consumption was associated with slower prostate tumor growth in animal models, likely due to its impact on inflammation and lipid metabolism. Think of walnuts as a dual action ally, good for your brain, your heart, and your prostate. A small handful, about 7 halves, a few times per week can go a long way. Number 3, pumpkin seeds to zinc-rich hormone helpers. Technically a seed, but often lumped in with nuts, pumpkin seeds are packed with zinc, a mineral that's essential for testosterone synthesis, prostate fluid production, and even libido regulation. Zinc deficiency is common in older men, especially those on certain medications like diuretics or PPIs. Low zinc is associated with reduced testosterone, poor immune function, and even erectile dysfunction. A study published in Nutrition found that supplementing with zinc in deficient men improves serum testosterone and sexual function within just a few months. 1 to 2 tablespoons of raw unsalted pumpkin seeds daily, either on salads, yogurt, or alone, is a simple, effective practice. Number 4, macadamia nuts to testosterone-friendly fats. Macadamias are high in monounsaturated fats, low in omega-6, and virtually free of anti-nutrients like phytic acid. That makes them a nearly perfect fat source for men concerned about inflammation and hormonal balance. Plus, they're rich in palmitoleic acid, a unique fat that may support fat metabolism and insulin sensitivity, both linked to better testosterone levels and reduced abdominal fat. Think of macadamias as the olive oil of nuts, clean, anti-inflammatory, and easy to digest. A small serving of 5 to 6 nuts makes a powerful, satisfying snack. So as a quick recap, Brazil nuts equals selenium for testosterone. Walnuts equals omega-3, S, and prostate antioxidants. Pumpkin seeds equals zinc for hormone production. Macadamias equals clean fats that won't stir up inflammation. In the next section, we'll zoom out and talk about how to eat these in a balanced way, because even good foods in the wrong portions or combinations can lose their magic. If this kind of practical research-backed guidance is helping, consider subscribing. You deserve clarity, not confusion, and that's exactly what we're here to give. You've learned which nuts to avoid and which to prioritize, but now comes the part that truly personalizes your approach: portion control, preparation methods, and strategic pairing. And let's start with portion. Nuts are calorically dense. A small handful can contain 150 to 200 calories, often without making you feel full. And for many men over 60, metabolism slows down, muscle mass decreases, and weight gain becomes easier, especially in the abdominal area where excess fat can convert testosterone into estrogen via an enzyme called aromatase. So here's a simple rule of thumb. Stick to about 1 ounce per serving. That's roughly 6 Brazil nuts. 10 to 12 macadamias, 14 walnut halves, 2 tablespoons of pumpkin seeds. Once a day is often enough if you're getting other healthy fats from olive oil, fatty fish, or avocados. It's about consistency, not excess. Next, let's talk preparation. Many commercially sold nuts are roasted in vegetable oils like soybean, sunflower, or canola, which are high in omega-6 fatty acids. These oils can tip the body's inflammation balance, especially if omega-3 intake is low. A better choice? Raw or dry roasted nuts without added oils. Even better if they're unsalted, since excess sodium can raise blood pressure and irritate the bladder, especially in men with an enlarged prostate. If you enjoy roasted nuts, consider roasting your own at home with a light touch of olive oil and spices, or even a pinch of turmeric or paprika, both of which have anti-inflammatory benefits. Now, pairing. How you combine nuts with other foods can influence their impact. Pairing nuts with high fiber foods like fruits, oats, or leafy greens can slow the absorption of fat and reduce blood sugar spikes. This helps maintain insulin sensitivity, which is deeply connected to hormonal health. In fact, men with insulin resistance are far more likely to experience low testosterone, BPH symptoms, and fatigue. Avoid combining nuts with sugary trail mixes or high-carb processed foods, which can negate their benefits and contribute to metabolic dysfunction. A simple snack idea: Greek yogurt with walnuts and pumpkin seeds, a few macadamias with cucumber slices and hummus, a Brazil nut or two with morning oatmeal or after your walk. And finally, timing. Some men find that eating nuts in the evening leads to better satiety and sleep, especially if they're magnesium rich like pumpkin seeds or walnuts. Magnesium is vital for testosterone production during sleep and for calming the nervous system, two key elements in male vitality. So think of nuts not as an automatic health food, but as a tool, powerful when used wisely. Now that we've covered which nuts to prioritize and how to prepare them, let's talk about how to make them work for you every single day without overthinking it. Because here's the reality: knowledge means very little without consistency. What matters most is building simple, sustainable habits that integrate naturally into your life. Let's start with the morning. Start your day with hormone-building minerals. Consider adding 1 to 2 Brazil nuts to your morning routine. Pop them in a smoothie, crumble them over your oatmeal, or just eat them plain alongside your coffee. This gives your body selenium early in the day, which supports testosterone synthesis and antioxidant protection, a key defense against prostate stress. Midday is a great time to check in with hunger and energy. This is often when men grab a snack, and it's also where the wrong choice like salted peanuts or chips can derail energy and hormones. Replace processed snacks with macadamias or pumpkin seeds. Keep a small container of raw, unsalted macadamias or roasted pumpkin seeds at your desk or in your car. These are low inflammatory, rich in good fats and minerals, and easy on digestion. Plus, they don't spike blood sugar, helping prevent that 3 p.m. crash. In the evening, think about sleep and recovery. Consider a nightcap of walnuts or pumpkin seeds. Both are rich in magnesium, which promotes deeper sleep and plays a crucial role in overnight testosterone production. A few walnuts with tart cherry juice or pumpkin seeds mixed into yogurt can be a simple pre-bed ritual that signals the body to relax and repair. Hydration also matters. Nuts are naturally low in water content. If you're not drinking enough fluids, you might experience constipation, sluggish metabolism, or even worsen urinary symptoms, especially if you're prone to BPH. So pair your nut intake with water, herbal teas, or hydration-rich foods like cucumbers or berries. Soaking nuts can also reduce anti-nutrients like phytic acid, making minerals like zinc and magnesium more bioavailable. Just a quick overnight soak in water for seeds and nuts like almonds or pumpkin seeds can aid digestion and absorption. And here's a doctor's tip I often give my patients: rotate your nuts throughout the week. This prevents overexposure to one compound or nutrient and supports a broader mineral intake. For example, Monday/Wednesday, Brazil nuts in the morning. Tuesday/Thursday, pumpkin seeds midday. Friday, walnuts before bed. Weekend, macadamias with lunch or as a travel snack. It's a flexible system that supports nutrient variety and gives your body the balance it needs without ever feeling like a diet. And finally, take note of how your body responds. If you feel more energetic, sleep better, or notice fewer BPH symptoms, pay attention. That feedback is more valuable than any lab result. Let's take a breath and zoom out. You've just learned how something as ordinary as the nuts in your kitchen drawer can have a profound impact on your testosterone levels, prostate health, and overall energy, especially after age 60, when the body becomes more responsive to what we feed it. And here's what the research shows. Some nuts, like peanuts, cashews, pine nuts, and heavily processed mixed varieties, may contribute to estrogenic activity, inflammation, or nutrient imbalances, particularly in aging men. Others, like Brazil nuts, walnuts, pumpkin seeds, and macadamiums, are rich in selenium, zinc, omega-3s, and anti-inflammatory fats that actively support hormone balance, reduce oxidative stress, and help protect the prostate. The way you prepare and portion these foods matters. Raw or dry roasted, unsalted soaked when possible, and paired with water and fiber-rich foods for better digestion and absorption. And finally, how consistently and intentionally you integrate them into your routine, that's what determines real results over time. But this isn't about being perfect, it's about being aware. You don't have to overhaul your entire diet tonight. Start with one small shift. Maybe tomorrow morning you replace your usual breakfast bar with 2 Brazil nuts and a glass of water. Or you bring a handful of pumpkin seeds with you on your next walk. The body is responsive. Even after 60, even if you've struggled for years, you just need good information and a calm plan. So here's my encouragement to you. Pick one nut to remove this week and one to add in. Drink more water with your snacks. Start noticing how your body responds without judgment. You deserve a body that works with you, not against you, and you deserve to age with strength, clarity, and confidence. If this video brought you any clarity, give it a like and share it with someone who might need it. Let's open this conversation. Subscribe if you want grounded, shame-free health content from someone who actually looks at this in the clinic every day. Stay curious. Stay informed. And I'll see you in the next one.